Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lesego and Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you're a fan of pods, stay tuned because you might like what we're cooking. On this week's episode, we are talking about creators that carry the TikTok trend. So, what comes to mind when you hear this? Inabangani bakhe, or zing zing zong, or ge. I think I can't sing, but you get the point though, right? So we are talking about those three specific content creators. So the first one being Bheki, Sithole, the second one being Patrao, the last one being Tupac. Tupac is currently trending. Tupac. So we are going to break it down into 4 categories. Going to break it by artist, by numbers, by content creator, by song. So Bheki, Sithole, we know the song name is Awukhuzeki. Zing Zong Na Zeng is the second song, which is by the guy by the name of Prince Ragani featuring Benny Mayingani. She's Patrao is representing that. The third one is Lindo. The artist is Lindo. The name of the song is Oksalayo. And Tupac is the content creator. Tupac is the content. I don't know if we can say Tupac is the content creator because I'm not sure if he was aware that he was being taken that video, but he carried the trend, so we'll give it to Tupac. So let's break it down to numbers. So Awukhuzeki, by the artist name being DJ Stokie, on Spotify alone is sitting at 7.6 million. It's north of 7.6 million. The second one, which is Zing Zong Na Zeng, by the guy called Prince Ragani featuring Benny Mayingana, it's sitting at, so I'm very nervous, guys. Numbers give me anxiety, so I'll just call the digits. I won't call the entire thing. Let me try. So on Spotify, the second song, the Patrao song, is sitting at I'm not doing that to myself. It's sitting at 112,204, I believe. 112,204. I don't know if that's correct. So let me just call it in terms of digits. So it's 112/204. 112/204. That's why I didn't want to call out the full number. And now you guys are judging me, but it's okay. It's okay. And that song is for Zing Zong Na Zeng, carried by Patrao, the artist name being Prince Ragani featuring Benny Mayingani. The last one, the Tupac song, is called Oksalayo. The artist name I did mention is Lindo_SA on Spotify and every other DSP, I believe. The numbers for that song is 127,960, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I am calling these numbers wrong. It's 1,027,960. Everyone is just smiling at this point. So please make sure you correct me, guys, on this numbers game, because I have, anxiety when it comes to calling out numbers, It's 127,960. 127,960. 127,960. That's the number. And on TikTok, it has 28,600 reposts. 28,600 repost. That's on TikTok alone. So I did mention that DJ Stokie is sitting at 7.6 million, which is the first carried by Bheki Sithole. The second one being Patrao, Benny Mayingani, the song by Benny Mayingani, Zing Zong Na Zeng, north of 100,000 The third one being Tupac. It's also sitting at north of 100,000. So these three people, when you think of Aukuzegi or Zinzong Nazeng or Ksalayo, you think of Tupac, you think of Bheki Sithole, you think of Patrao, right? So I'm going to bring something at play, I wanna bring something at play as soon as I'm done talking about this, But then for the people who haven't followed, subscribed, or rated the show, please do that after this episode. This will give you a notification of each time we release a new episode. So I wanted to talk about it. In my opinion, this is the order that I put this song. I said 1, it's Bheki Sithole. Bheki Sithole carried the trend. I think Bheki Sithole carried us through the whole September with those videos. I don't know how to sing, but you get my point. I think Bheki carried us through that one. And I think Patrao by the name, by the way, the content creator on TikTok is Chief Killer _RSA. Chief Killer _RSA. Patrao, but a lot of people call him Patrao. Even if you could head on to the search bar and search Patrao, it'll take you to Chief Killer _RSA. I think he carried us, but I think with Chief Killer, he carried us for 2 weeks, right? I think it's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. He carried us for 2 weeks before Tupac came through. 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I think. Chief Killer carried us, and a lot of people were doing a lot of the Tupac shandies, and it was a big trend, And a lot of people were also, I saw on social media, on TikTok specifically, people were complaining to see like Benny Maingane was starting to get gigs, and I saw like even white content creators started repurposing the content for their own content, and it's a good thing. But people were saying Benny Maingane should give credit to Chief Killer. Chief Killer should be given credit by Benny Maingane and Prince Ratani. They should give him credit for what he did, or feature him, or call him out on stage, or thank him, on the public eye, because honestly he did carry the trend. And I think I do agree with people that say that, and it had me thinking about a lot of things, and one of those things is NFTs. And I am going to share what I think about this and what potentially we could do as content creators or curators to help artists and help content creators at the same time. And it's in like the blockchain market, and I'll get to break that down when we come back from the break. I think going back to say the second trend, I think Chief Killer carried us, because a lot of like famous or like well-known content creators were doing that trend, killed it. So with the third one, I think the third one being the one nigga Tupac, the one for Tupac, the one Tupac did, the gang, it's still fresh, so we can't really gauge it. But for the sake of this, I'm going to put it at that place. And gege, people can't. I haven't seen a lot of people repurpose that and come up with something that's unique and special at the moment. But there's how many? 28,600 reposts of that song. So people were just doing the photos. I think at this point they were doing pictures. They were using the song in the pictures, or in few used the shandies. They use videos, so there's not a lot of videos in comparison to Bheki Sithole, because with Bheki Sithole there was also people who were like imitating what Bheki Sithole was doing, the dance and everything. I saw even that guy from Shagalembe, he was also doing his video, and people were saying, oh, he's so cute and so shy. They were saying that, I saw that. So a lot of that, I think that helped carry the trend, is because more influential people were doing the challenge. And same applies with Chief Killer. The third one, I haven't seen a lot, as I said before. It's still a new trend, so like let's give it some time and see. But it blew up, and I think it contributed to the success of the song. You know what I mean? And with with both the Alkuzegi and Oksalayo, I think also because we don't know how much TikTok has influenced the numbers, but how many people listened to the song because of Bheki Sithole, or Oksalayo because of Lindo, or Patrao, which is Killer Chief. We don't know. We just see the numbers, and we don't know how much influence or their contribution towards the success of the song. And I want us to also talk about what can be done. Well, I drafted some of the things I think personally we can do, to make sure that we benefit from some of these trends that we make, you know what I mean? And you should let us know what you also think. And at the first place, I think Bheki Sithole is the one. I'm giving Bheki Sithole first place. Second place, I'm giving it to Patrao. Third place, I'm giving it to Tupac, in that order. If you think maybe I should have a different arrangement to this, just comment in the comment section and let us know, like, the arrangement, the proper arrangement, because in my arrangement I said Tupac is third place, Patrao second, first is Bheki Sithole. Shout out to Bheki Sithole, in that order. If you don't believe in that, just sit there, and we'll take it from there, and we'll see if we have a second episode on that. I think the most important thing that I wanted to discuss, I will discuss with you guys when we come back after the break. For those of you who haven't followed me on social media, it's Lesego_MH, Lesego_MH everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. That's where I'm mostly active. You get me there. So to follow the podcast, head on to any DSP that you listen your podcast from, and follow, subscribe, and rate the show to get a notification each and every time we drop a new episode. So without any wasting of time, let's head on to the break. Cheers. Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lesego Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are a fan of pod, stay tuned because you might like what we're cooking. On this week's episode, we are talking about content creators or creators that carry the TikTok trend via song, via video, whatever you may, we are talking about that. And I did have my arrangement before we went on to the break for those of you who just joined us. So on first place, I put on Bheki Sithole. The second one, I put on Patrao, Chief Killer _RSA on TikTok. The third place, I put Tupac, but the artist is Lindo _SA. Who put Tupac on. That's my arrangement. So the first song was Alkuzeg, the second song was Zing Zong Nazeng, the third one was Oksalayo. That's the song. And I did break down the numbers, the first one being the first song, DJ Stock, which is Alkuzeg, it's sitting at 7.6 million. The second one by Prince Radani featuring Benny Maing, and it's sitting north of 100,000. Same applies with the last one, which featured Tupac by Lindo _SA. It's also sitting north of 100,000. So we're having this conversation and see if artists can actually benefit, from all these TikTok videos that they put out there, and which contributes a lot to the success of the song and the artist in general. And they get gigs because of that. I was looking at Benny Maingani was gigging because of what Chief Killer did with the song on TikTok, and people were saying that Chief Killer should be given credit, so on and so forth. So I want us to talk about that. And I've did a bit of research around what I think could potentially work. It's a stretch. It's a stretch idea, but I think if it could be invested in, it could potentially have something or contribute for both the artist and the content creator. So what I was talking about is that in my mind, this is what I was thinking. In my mind, I was like, so how can artists benefit? Artists are already benefiting. how can content creators specific benefit from the success of the content they put out? Like the trend. Say for instance, not Benny Man, I made a mistake. Bheki's tour. I think he contributed a lot to the 7.6 million of our Kuzeki by DJ Stocky. I think he contributed a lot to that. And I'm like, how can we make sure it's like, if DJ Stocky is winning in numbers, Spotify or whatever the case, Apple Music or Amazon Music, if he's winning in numbers, how can the artist that put on the the song or the trend, if he carried that, how can you also benefit from that? So I started doing a bit of digging of what could potentially be done, what potentially could be done, because artists like Sithole or Patrao or Tupac can benefit from this. So I came up with the concept. So the concept was TikTok artist collaboration token, a feature that TikTok can introduce wonderful creators. So a TikTok artist collaboration token feature, this is how it works. This is how it's going to work. So artists and content creators come and collaborate to say, okay, I'm going to take out a song and I'm also going to create a token of which a content creator can purchase at the reasonable cost, at the reasonable price, and create content all around that. And when the song catches a trend or it trends, it's like the song by DJ Stocky, which Bheki carried. If, say for instance, Bheki, okay, let's say if the DJ Stocky had that token and Bheki purchased that coin and created that content and it blew up like it did, and given that the content blew up, that means that the token appreciates in value, right? So how the coin appreciates in value is based on the trend. If something trends, the coin appreciates in value. So it's all in the efforts of the artist and the content creator that purchases that coin and makes it a success for them and the artist. So they benefit. The artists get sales. They get sales from TikTok or whatever, which is a contributing factor in Spotify for listens, number of listens, and from also TikTok, because when you create that coin, they purchase, the trend hits, the trend hits, the artist makes money, the content creator makes money. And if you want to ask me, okay, like now the trend, Bheki Sithole is trending, the music is, and the coin is appreciated in value, how do I then, sell that and maybe get my money back? Okay, this is the answer to that. It's like, okay, the trend, Bheki Sithole purchased the coin, right? He purchased the coin, made the trend, and it blew up, right? And the coin also appreciated in value. So how this can be converted into actual money is by converting that in blockchain, selling that in the blockchain, and in return you can either buy a lithium or buy Bitcoin, and you can always convert it using, I think, what's that, Luno? You can convert it in Luno into cash, send it into your account. No big deal, right? So it benefits the artist and the content creator. So it also gives the artist the hunger, I'm going to make this happen, because there's always something to benefit for them, because now people were like, Benny Maingani, this. But if there's this, the artist and the content creator, they get to benefit equally. You get what I mean? So then the more the artists come in to the trend, they climb and make it more or blow up more, the coin still appreciates in value because you purchased that coin. Even if you're not the artist, but you are someone who purchased that coin, it appreciates in value. You know what I mean? It appreciates in value. So that's my thoughts on as far as like how we can make money as content creators from the music that's released by artists such as DJ Stocky, and this idea was inspired by Bheki Sithole and the trend Aukuzeki, and how artists can actually benefit from this. Let me know what you think. I think this is a pretty good idea, this is a pretty good idea. Let me know what you think about it. So basically, for people who don't understand, this works like an NFT. What's an NFT? An NFT is a non-fungible token, which it works the same way as what you call this cryptocurrency works. You can convert that in the blockchain market. You can use Luno to purchase the cell phones. It works the same way as blockchain. It works the same way as the NFT, but it can be a collaboration between TikTok and NFTs. Say take an NFT platform and your TikTok is creating its own TikTok coins, and this is the dynamic or the matrix of how this works. If artists make coin, the content creators buy, and if this thing trends, the coin appreciates on value, and then artists can go back to the platform and exchange that for lithium, Bitcoin, or just convert it to cash into their bank account. You know what I mean? I think it will contribute a lot to people going more into social media and creating content, and it will give them a drive. It'll give artists the drive, content. When there's something you've been given to say, in a form of appreciation, to say nah sis, go create, understand it. Now you have the fire to go and do more, to be more creative. I think this is one idea that is looking into the space of people that are very creative, to say you must go and be more creative. It's a thought-provoking idea to say, oh, how do I come up with the next big thing? Which song am I listening to? And looking at the piano songs that are out now, I think that can also help us as creators be a part of the music, the artist, and the success of the project together. And because oftenly people say, oh, piano is from South Africa, but when you ask people, what was your contribution to the success of this song? They don't have answers. You get my point? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you, we can be a part of that and be in control of the content that we release from the artist standpoint and the content creator standpoint. Let me know what you think on the comment section, and if what I'm saying is crazy or it doesn't make sense, and I'll come back and make an episode where I break down what I mean. Maybe that it makes sense to you. And if you support this, also head on there and tell us you support this on the comment section. I appreciate you listening to me for the past 22 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. If you haven't followed me, please do so on social media. It's at Lesego_MH, at Lesego_MH, and every platform. And also let us know what you think of the solo episode. I think for me, it was more of honing into the craft of public speaking, or speaking to you via this. So it's also giving myself the exercise when we have guests. I'm able to freestyle the questions that I have for the guests, because you find sometimes I'm not able to ask the questions off the top of my head because now there's load shedding, the laptops are off and the show has to continue going. I should have the ability to keep on asking those questions to ask those questions to the guest without having to check on the research that I have. And I feel this is one of the ways that I personally think it will help me as far as building muscle towards achieving that. Let me know if you think these are successful, if we should stick to making those episodes with guests, and we'll take it from there. I think that's about it for this week. Tell us what you think, and I think we also are planning, I forgot to even tell you guys, we are planning on releasing episodes from Monday to Friday for the next 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. For the next two months, we are planning on releasing episodes each and every day. Monday to Friday, we'll have guests, we'll have solo episode. It's gonna be, understand? It's gonna be it's December and we are fighting, you understand? And even the charts are appreciating us. And shout out to all the people that are listening, man. Shout out to all of you guys. I appreciate you because you're the reason we are appearing in some of these charts that we appear in. And I really, really sincerely, appreciate and love the effort that you put into making sure that the podcast becomes a success, rather. Thank you. Let's meet on another episode of Backroom Convos with Lesego and Daddy Waddy Pod, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Pyro. Let's meet on the next one, man. Cheers.